Hey y'all, welcome back to Harmon Homestead. I'm in the dining room today and I have my little shelves here and we are going to continue our series on Are You Prepared? But let's talk about famine and food shortages. Who knows what may happen? This is always a potential, okay? But it may be that you just don't have the money to buy food with food prices. It could be something like that. So let's take a different angle at it today and let's talk about food. If you're homesteading, more than likely you're gardening. Guys, this is step one. You need to grow your own food. That's absolute step one to be prepared for any kind of food shortage, okay? Now, once you start learning how to garden, you're going to learn how to seed save. If you don't know how a plant grows, you're not going to understand how to save the seeds from that plant until you see how the plant does. So step one would be get out there, plant something, and then try to seed save. And I've got an example here. This is Clemson spineless okra. This is already off my plants. Guys, it doesn't have to be October to seed save. Sometimes if plants just get dry, you can go on and seed save then. What it'll do, see this where it just opened up and the seeds fall to the ground. You have to learn how the plant will drop its seeds. Look this stuff up online. You'll have a one-up and you'll be a little bit more educated on this, but you have to get out there and plant something. But here I'm rattling, he's ready to seed save. And I've brought those in. That way I don't have to buy this next year. You need to learn what varieties will cross-pollinate, how far things need to be planted apart to seed save from. You need to look all this up. It's very in-depth and it can be complicated, but at least start with just a few things that'll save your seed bill next year, and you will be able to at least save something from your homestead, the seed, and plant it next year. So that's a good thing. Secondly, look at this. These are our Christmas pole lima beans. These can be eaten this way. They're completely dry, or they can be planted again next year. We'll probably eat these and just cook these as dried beans, but guys, that's another form of seed saving. Let the beans dry on the plant. There you go. So seed save. That way you are able to produce your own food if weather conditions permit. That's a huge thing here, okay? You can't always grow if the weather's bad, but at least you've got a better shot if you have your own seed here. They may not have this next year at the feed store. Somebody may buy it all up before I get there. So that's the kind of things you need to think of. It does not hurt if you've got the time to go out there and shell some beans or pick some dry okra pods. There's nothing to it, okay? So you have to be committed to growing your own food. Now that you're growing your own food, you're gonna seed save, you're gonna plant your stuff, you have to have somewhere to put your food, okay? Jars, freezer bags, freezers, eating fresh, you have to have somewhere to put this food to consume, okay? We have mason jars. We just went and got these today. I needed some more jars for all of my canning because I'm canning so much right now. Just off of peppers and jelly, crab apples are coming up, and okra. Right now I've got pickled okra in the electric canner. It's not going to feed us a meal, but it will put bulk on the plate for us to eat, okay? So preserve every bit of food you've got. Needs some kind of storage space. Certain foods like corn, I only freeze. I have canned just a few pints just to say I did, but we freeze that. We freeze most of our okra. We pre-bread it, freeze it. Different methods, okay? You need freezer bags, Ziploc bags, something. You need a place to put it or either jars, okay? If you are putting your food up for long-term storage, another great option, you're still gonna need jars, but these are some shelves off my dehydrator, okay? Guys, the whole point of food is to feed yourself, to lower that grocery bill. It's great food. You know what goes into it. It's grown in your backyard, but you also need ways to preserve it. And this year I have gotten into dehydrating heavily. I love it. I'm gonna show you some examples. So here's orange slices, beautiful. If I wanna put this in tea, I have. If I wanna put this in whatever, if I wanna have this as a decoration, if I wanna dip this in chocolate and have it as a snack, there it is, okay, beautiful, it was easy. You can do anything. This is cantaloupe chips, look at this. See that? It's just cantaloupe chips, and everything is smaller. That's the beauty about dehydrating. When you put it in that dehydrator and turn it on, it's going to shrink and flatten to nothing, so you can pack a lot in a small space. Now, you could get food saver bags, a food saver, some kind of vacuum. You could do a mason jar, okay? Peppers. I am on a pepper kick right now because we have so many peppers. Red pepper flakes, nothing to it. Dehydrate cayenne pepper that are red. If you want it red, you can do it green as well. I've done a video on that. When it's done and dry, put it in a bag, put a rolling pin over it, crush it up, and here you go. There's nothing to this. You don't have to go out and buy all this fancy equipment. But you need to have some kind of method on how you're going to put up your food. My number one method would be canning. Second would be freezers. That's going to be for meats, things like that. Third would be dehydrator. Fourth, just say you're in an apartment or you can't grow, you can't do anything like that, and you just have to strictly buy your food. If you find it on sale or you can get it in bulk, guys, we picked these up today. They're huge, half-gallon jars, mason jars. If you've got rice or something, put it down in there. Dried beans, just like I did these that I grew. Put them in the jars and put them back on shelves. That way they're protected from mice and mold or whatever. Water damage, you've got it in a secure place. You can get any kind of jar, any kind of tight lid. Again, vacuums, food savers, anything like that. But you can buy food and put it up, and that's what this is for. I'm going to have flour here. If I've got extra rice, dried beans, because we all know we'll put this stuff back somewhere, and inevitably a mouse will get in it, or there'll be something wrong with it. The package will be torn, stuff will fall out, you didn't know it had a tear in it. So as soon as you buy something, try to put it up. That way you know it's good to go, okay? In a safe, secure container. And the main thing is, guys, last but not least, stock your food. Stock your food. If you're growing, if you're buying, whatever, get the basic staples that you're going to eat and put that back on the shelf. That way you've got food in case of an emergency, somebody loses a job, you can't afford it, it's not on the shelf. We've seen a lot of this year where stuff is not on the shelves. We all know a couple years ago there wasn't a lot of things to be found on the shelves, so it never hurts to have it. But the good thing is the old timers grew all summer. They put it up for winter. They put it up for winter because they couldn't go out and grow. And the reason our food bill has been so low is because we've eaten so much fresh that we're growing. We're going to do the same method this winter. We're just not going to be able to grow. So, but we've got fresh food here, whether it be a cantaloupe, cayenne pepper. We didn't grow the oranges, but I mean, you see what I'm saying? We've got all this, and you can still put food up if you're not growing it. Look for sales, discounts, stuff like that. Make sure you've got a means to cook your food. I always promote a manual can opener. If you've got cast iron, I love it. You could put it on an open fire if you had to. You could do it inside. I use cast iron primarily to cook everything. Last but not least, if you are preserving your own food, you're going to need stuff like vinegar, sugar. If you're doing jams, jellies, you'll probably want some kind of pectin. We showed you that on our pepper jelly video and cowboy candy. Cowboy candy didn't take it, but certain jams and jellies will need pectin added. If you find that stuff on sale, get it and put it back, because I'm using pectin from 2 years ago. The expiration's fine, yada, 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 and now I've got it here, and it's not going to waste. So anyways, just try to build you a little stock, okay, of food, but you need to know how to seed save, you need to know how to grow. You need to get out there and grow. And the only way to grow your vegetables is get out there and do it, okay? Look into dehydrators, really, guys. There's nothing to it. And that's great for the winter time because they throw off, to me, they throw off heat. It's just like canning. It's great to do in the winter, but the trouble is there's not a lot of fresh stuff available in the winter. So you kind of, you know, it's unfortunately you have to do it in the summer when you have the produce available. Have containers, have a storage method, and then just like these shelves, have somewhere to put it, okay? But if you get in a bind, you can put it in a closet, under your bed, whatever, okay? You can stock food, and it's just a sense of security, and you're prepared. So anyways, just food for thought, literally, today, guys. We will see you next time on Harmon Homestead.